Well, hello, Jimmy the Hammer here on a kind of crisp Monday afternoon, I guess it is. My schedule's kind of weird. I've also been fasting because I have to go get my blood work done later on, so I haven't eaten anything in quite a while. So I'm a little off, but I'm just trying to pass the time because I couldn't get through the morning of work without any caffeine, so I had to schedule my blood work at 3 p.m. because I don't get out of work until 10 a.m., but I got to go to work at 3 a.m. Anyway, so my father just cut out an article from the Boston Herald. Maybe you'll be able to read this. Red meat diabetes scare from the Boston Herald of October 20th. Some really very fascinating information, but it's important to know, does red meat cause diabetes? No. There's a couple of things about the article that's related here. And when you read it and when you understand where the information is coming from, it says that people who eat 2 servings of red meat a week may have a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to people who eat fewer servings, and the risk increases with greater consumption, according to a new study from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. Well, this is the same Harvard who has been found out that several of their professors have taken money to lie about sugar and saturated fat, but that's beside the point. And of course, the Harvard researchers found that when replacing red meat with healthy plant-based protein sources, such as nuts and legumes, or modest amounts of dairy, was tied with a lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Now, how did they figure this all out? This is the important thing. So when studies are quoted saying that red meat are bad or any food is bad, to find out who sponsored the study, and in this case, not really important, other than as Harvard. Don't trust anything Harvard says, personally. But this is what's referred to as an epidemiological study. So they send out questionnaires to people and they answer them. So this is what they said they based their information on. The researchers analyzed health data from 216,695 participants. That's a lot. From the Nurses' Health Study, NHS-2, and Health Professionals Follow-Up Study. The participants were asked about their diet in food frequency questionnaires every 2 to 4 years for up to 36 years. During this time, more than 22,000 participants developed type 2 diabetes. The scientists found that consumption of red meat, including processed and unprocessed red meat, was strongly linked to increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Interesting that with many of these studies, I don't know how to find this study. The study is not, it's quoted but is not cited, so there's no way for, even if I knew how to find it, to investigate it. However, can many of us remember what we ate last week? The only reason I can is because I eat mostly meat, so I basically know what I eat. And when I go off plan, I remember. But I can't remember things that I ate within the last 2 years. Here's another couple of fascinating things. In a lot of these questionnaires, they rate pepperoni pizza as red meat. Now, how much red meat is on a pepperoni pizza? Yeah, pepperoni is red. But the vast majority of pizza is bread. What's another fascinating thing about all these people that eat more red meat? Now, they eat hamburgers, right? Oh, great, yeah. Maybe they go to Five Guys and they get a hamburger at Five Guys. Here's the problem with a Five Guys hamburger, and they're very good, by the way. The problem is, I don't know too many people that go to a burger place and don't get French fries. They get French fries that are cooked in seed oil. Now, one could say, whoa, Five Guys is better. They do it in peanut oil. Yes, it tastes great, but it's still seed oil. And you ask for a small fry. I would like to have 5 or 10 fries just so that I can have a taste of your French fries. And what do? They give you half a pound. So they're eating the bun, which is bread, which isn't really good for your blood sugar, and you're eating 5 metric tons of French fries. what do you think is going to happen? Of course you're going to get diabetes. And then you're going to have ketchup and sauces and all these things with sugar in it, and then you're probably going to have a Coke. Did they ask them whether they drank Diet Coke or regular Coke or whatever? Did they drink with whatever they went out and got and they had the red meat? No, I bet you they didn't. And even if they did, they're not saying it here. What's more likely to give you diabetes? A 32-ounce Coke or 2 burger patties? I mean, if you just have the burger patties wrapped in lettuce and that's how they could figure out, maybe. But you really have to be careful with studies that say red meat or any food is bad when it's an epidemiological study, because they send out questionnaires so that people can remember, what did you eat over the past 2 years? That's not really fair, because I don't remember, and I may basically eat just meat. I don't write it all down. Most normal humans don't write down everything that they eat. So don't just believe these things. If it's a study done in a lab where it's controlled and they've never done this study, no food company is going to do this study. Why? Because they know what the answer is going to be. And so no food company is going to pay. Maybe the meat board might, but it's so much money, you'd have to have a large controlled trial with people that you made sure of what they eat. So you have a meat-based whole food diet against a plant-based whole food diet. Which one is healthier? Check the blood markers. Which one has type 2 diabetes? Which one doesn't? Which one has more problems? But most food companies aren't going to do that because they probably know the answer. In fact, most of the food company executives are probably eating meat and not the stuff they sell you. Just a thought, since most of the people that follow this channel live in Boston, so they may have seen this Boston Herald article. If any of you all actually read the newspaper anymore, I don't know. But that's all, and hopefully you enjoyed this relatively short video, and I hope it came out, because I'm looking at the back of my phone. I'm not looking at the front to see whether it's actually got me in picture and frame and all that great stuff. But anyway, this is Jimmy the Hammer saying always be the hammer. Jimmy the Hammer, out.